Hey guys, hope everyone's had a good week so far. Today we're going to be talking about overcoming gym anxiety. So how to start feeling confident in the gym. So this is going to be a 30-minute live talking about overcoming gym anxiety. So how to feel confident in the gym. So I'm going to give everyone about a minute to join. But in terms of what I'm going to be covering today is why gym anxiety happens, what people think is happening versus the reality, how to walk into the gym with a plan, gym etiquette and unwritten rules, building confidence without forcing motivation, and then around 7:30, I'm going to be doing a wrap up. So if you guys have got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments as we go along. I'm always happy to answer questions as we run through. But just to confirm, the live today is all about overcoming gym anxiety and how to feel confident in the gym. So if you guys have ever felt gym anxiety or you haven't felt like going to the gym just because of the anxiety that it gives you, this is going to be the life for you. I'm going to be talking around how to build confidence step by step, and this is going to be manageable. So if you guys have never seen me before, my name is Ross. I've got over a decade of experience when it comes to health and fitness. It is my pleasure to come on here and run a 30-minute live session talking about how to overcome gym anxiety and how to start feeling confident in the gym. I know it's nearly the end of January, and for everyone that wants to get fit in 2026, I know that a lot of people have said to themselves, do you know what? I can't go to the gym because of my gym anxiety. I can't exercise at the gym. I don't like it. I don't like how it makes me feel. So what I want to help you guys here with my expertise and knowledge is how to overcome that. So just as a very, very basic start off, gym anxiety is very normal, especially in January if you are starting to get back into the gym or if you are starting your fitness journey. So super, super important to remember that you are not someone who's different to everyone else. Everyone experiences an element of gym anxiety. Even for myself, when I first started going to the gym, I was extremely small, I was extremely skinny, and that caused me to have anxiety to go into a gym where there was people who were at different stages of their fitness journey. So super, super important to understand that it is a normal feeling. And the best way that you guys can approach or attack gym anxiety is by some of the simple steps that I'm going to share with you in this live. So if the gym makes you nervous, then this live is for you. So I'm going to share with you guys some helpful tips and tricks over the next 25 minutes. If you guys have felt anxious in the gym before, or if you still feel anxious, then please type anxious in the chat if the gym still stresses you out. So what I'm going to move into now is why gym anxiety happens. So this is something that pretty much the majority of us will experience when we first start going to the gym, when we go back to the gym, or if we are just starting our fitness journey. So why gym anxiety happens? The main reason why it happens is we feel uncomfortable in an environment that is new to us. And that is normal. It doesn't just have to be in the gym. It could be in our personal lives, maybe going to a party, maybe going to a social event. It could even be starting a new job, having a presentation in work. It doesn't just have to be related to the gym. If something is not familiar to us, then we can very much feel overwhelmed, and that's where the anxiety comes from. So look, I know gym anxiety is mainly comes down to fear of being judged, not knowing what to do, comparing yourself to others, and potentially for you guys who are watching this, some of you guys might have had past negative gym experiences. So most gym anxiety is uncertainty. Again, being in an environment where it's not common for you. And the only way that you can start attacking that and improving your gym anxiety is around attacking it head on, first thing. So, in terms of, let's break these down one by one. So, if we're talking around a fear of being judged, you are not being judged when it comes to the gym. What you need to do is you need to think to yourself that everyone is on their own path when they're going to the gym. No one is worried about what the person next to them is doing. They're worried about getting in and getting out and getting their own workouts done. So the fear of being judged, I know on the surface of things you might think that is the case, but I promise you it's not. In terms of the second gym anxiety cause, not knowing what to do, that is normal when you first start going to the gym because it is a completely new environment. But the only way that you can start improving and is by going into the gym with a plan. Not knowing what to do is normal when you first arrive at the gym, but it's really important to start going there with a plan. And I've touched upon this earlier on. Comparing yourself to others, especially when you're on two different paths, that is not going to be good for you. That is where the anxiety and that is where the feeling is going to get worse. You need to understand, regardless of your starting point, we all are on different paths, and the most important thing that you can do is look at yourself and think to yourself, I'm on my own path. This is how I'm going to overcome this gym anxiety. For anyone that is joining late or passing through, today we are talking about overcoming gym anxiety, how to start feeling confident in the gym. So we've just run through why gym anxiety happens. So fear of being judged, not knowing what to do, comparing yourself to others, and past negative experiences of the gym. So the next topic that I want to talk about is what most people think is happening versus the reality. So the purpose of why I want to talk about this topic is to break false beliefs when it comes to what people think is actually happening versus the reality. So, super simple, and I've explained this in the live earlier on, but most people are just focused on themselves. They are not worried about what the next person is doing. I know when you go into the gym for the first time or you're a beginner, it's very easy to look around and think everyone is judging me. But honestly, most people are focused on themselves. And to be honest with you, most experienced gym goers don't care what beginners are actually doing. Look, even for myself, when I'm in the gym, if I look around and I see someone who's a beginner, I respect them for coming into the gym. If I see someone who's starting their fitness journey, I respect them for starting, because at the end of the day, we've all got different starting points. And I touched upon this earlier on, but confidence comes from familiarity, not perfection. Turning up to the gym regularly, trying your best, understanding that this is part of your journey is how you're going to build confidence. There is no perfect workout. There is no perfect time. You've just got to keep turning up and being consistent. Consistency comes from confidence and understanding that there is no perfect time. There's no perfect way to overcome gym anxiety. So for everyone that is watching, what's the one thing that you're most nervous about when it comes to the gym? You guys can share it in the comments. Feel free to share it with me. I'm happy with the engagement. If you guys have got any questions whilst I'm running through, then feel free to ask me as we go along. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is how to walk into the gym with a plan. One of the main points that I was speaking about earlier on is a lot of people have gym anxiety because they go into the gym and they don't know what they're doing. So this is why it's super important to walk into the gym with a plan, because then if you walk into the gym with a plan, that will then ease quite a lot of the anxiety, because all you know what you've got to do is go from point A to point B to point C, go from one step to the next, and then you can get your workout done. The main purpose of walking into the gym with a plan is it will give you control over the situation and it will give you confidence. So there's many different ways that you can have a plan. You can either go in with a written plan, have a plan on your phone, start with machines or familiar movements. So I always recommend, if you are very anxious when you go to the gym, super important that you start on machines rather than free weights, because machines are a lot easier than free weights to manage. Pick 2 to 3 exercises only to start with. You don't need to go into a full bodybuilding split. You don't need to be doing crazy amounts of exercises. Remember, you can build confidence slowly as your anxiety gets better. And the way that your anxiety is going to get better is starting with machines or familiar movements. Pick 2 to 3 exercises only. So you're only going to be in the gym for like 20, 30 minutes. That is going to be controlled. That is how you're going to build confidence. So another beginner tip to follow is repeat the same workout for 2 to 3 weeks. That then in your brain is going to register that this is familiar to me. I've done this last week. I've done this the week before. This is something that I can do. That's how you're going to ease your gym anxiety and build confidence. And remember, confidence comes from repetition. So the next topic that I wanted to run on to is gym etiquette and unwritten rules. So the main purpose of this topic is removing the fear of doing something wrong. We are all new to the gym. We all have been beginners at one point or another. And super important when you're going to the gym, if you are using a machine, make sure you wipe it down afterwards. I know a lot of people overlook this, but make sure it's clean for the next person to use. If you are sharing a machine, it's polite to put their weights back on. If you want to use a machine, ask someone if you can jump in. If you don't know how to use a machine, ask someone for help. The gym community, in most cases, is very open, is very welcoming, and they respect people who are new to the gym. We understand that we are all beginners at one time. And remember, the last thing about gym etiquette and unwritten rules are headphones are your friend. So go into the gym with your favorite music on. That is going to relax you with your plan and with your 2 to 3 exercises. And remember, you don't need to know everything to belong here. Everyone started at one point, and the easiest way to ease your gym anxiety is just by going consistently, and you will build your knowledge over time. So the next topic that I wanted to talk about is building confidence without forcing motivation. This is a very, very big one when it comes to easing gym anxiety and it comes to building confidence in the gym. The main purpose of building confidence without forcing motivation is it makes progress feel achievable. I know a lot of people who want to get fit in 2026 are like going full throttle out of the gate 6 days a week. They've probably, research says that they've already burned out by now, and they feel like they've gone back to square one. In terms of building confidence without forcing motivation, is all about making progress feel achievable. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do that by setting minimum standards. You don't need a gym workout for an hour in order for it to be effective. Minimum standards. Go into the gym for a minimum 20, 30 minute workout. Nice and simple. If your anxiety is super high, you can go to the gym at off-peak times. The gym is going to be a lot quieter. You can go there throughout the day and get your workout done. And wear clothes that make you feel comfortable. I've said this once and I'm going to say it again. The gym is not a fashion show. If you are going to the gym, it is not like you're going clubbing or it's not like you're going out. Wear clothing that makes you feel comfortable. If you are comfortable, then you are going to feel confident. So, you don't need confidence to go to the gym. Go in, build confidence. So, what that basically means is you don't need to feel confident before you start. All you need to do is you just need to keep going and be consistent and accumulate going week after week. That is how you're going to ease your gym anxiety and how you're going to build confidence. Guys, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask them to me. I'm more than happy to answer them as I'm going through. So just to recap in terms of what we've run through so far, in terms of this live is all around overcoming gym anxiety, how to feel confident at the gym. So gym anxiety is completely normal. It's especially common for people who are looking to start their fitness journey in January, or especially if you've started to restart fitness after a break. If the gym makes you nervous, then this live is for you. And why gym anxiety happens. So the main reason why gym anxiety happens is because a lot of people have a fear of being judged, not knowing what to do, comparing yourself to others, and having past negative experiences of the gym. And the most gym anxiety is uncertainty, not incompetence. And that's why it's super, super important to make sure when you go to the gym, you're doing it regularly. Going to the gym regularly. That is what is going to build the confidence. We then moved into what people think is happening versus the reality. So most people are focused on themselves. Experienced gym goers don't care what beginners are doing. We all respect them. And confidence comes from being familiar in the environment that you're in. It's not about being perfect. We then moved into how to walk into the gym with a plan. So you can either go in with a written plan or a plan on your phone. I would start with machines to ease your gym anxiety and to build confidence, and pick only 2 to 3 exercises. You don't want to have a super long workout. 2 to 3 exercises, nice and simple. A 30-minute session is all that you need to start with. And to build your confidence, all you need to do is repeat the same workout for 2 to 3 weeks. That is going to get you familiar. That is going to get you confident. That is then going to ease some of that gym anxiety. And remember that confidence comes from repetition. You need to keep going to the gym in order to make yourself feel better. It's like anything in life. You can't have the theory in your mind of how you're going to attack something. You need to practically go there and be consistent. The next thing we spoke about is gym etiquette and unwritten rules. So the main line that I wanted to send over to you guys here, and the thing that I want you guys to think about is I want you guys to remove the fear of doing something wrong. So super important when you're in the gym. If you're sharing machines, it's okay to ask for help. If you're a beginner, the gym community is very open and they are happy to help. If I see someone that is a beginner or someone that's starting their fitness journey, especially now in January, I respect it. And headphones are your friend. Remember that in order for you to get relaxed and to get comfortable, listen to your favorite music, relax, and remember you don't need to know everything in order to belong in a fitness environment. So super, super important. Everyone is all at different stages. We then moved into building confidence without forcing motivation. So super, super important in terms of easing gym anxiety and building confidence. It's important to make progress feel achievable. And how do we do that? We make sure that we're going into the gym for short, at least 20 to 30-minute workouts. If your gym anxiety is really bad, you go at off-peak gym times. It's a lot quieter and you'll be able to get around and do your workouts. And super, super important to make sure that you wear clothes that make you feel comfortable. You don't need confidence to turn up and go to the gym, but build it. But the way that you're going to build confidence is build confidence consistently. So just a quick wrap up in terms of what we run through. Anxiety is normal. Have a simple plan. Start small, and repetition builds confidence. The gym gets easier the more familiar it becomes. So, if you guys have found today's live helpful, then please feel free to check into one of my other lives. I've got another live happening tomorrow. That is going to be on another topic. That is going to be all based around the different training splits that I've done in the past and what I think is best. If you guys have got any questions, feel free to message me here, either DM me. It's my pleasure jumping on here and sharing my knowledge and my experience with you guys. If you guys have got any questions, feel free to come back to me. Thank you guys for the time today. I shall see you guys on the next live tomorrow, but I'll see you guys then. See you later and bye.